Indeed, as you again develop the relationship with yourself and then begin new relationships with others, certainly, naturally, the physical aspects of relationships will change. Sex won't be this thing for simply, relief or short-term pleasure. It will be quite different. We have to chuckle here. For some of you are beginning to experience this, but so much work to be done here, where you are truly allowing yourself to feel what it is like to have another love you and give to you and serve you and have you truly bring in that energy without fear or holding back. And for you to give it to them without expectations, without this whole measurement, was it good for you? Was it good for me? These things have so much limited the loving and the blessed nature of sex and the new energy, physical relationship. The sex can be one of the greatest ways of joining spirit to spirit, not just body to body. So it will be more fulfilling. It will be more touching. It will be less judged. In the human terms, sex is dirty, funny thing, and in the new energy, it goes out of that realm where it will be like, the best example, going into the temple together for your time and your love and your sharing together. You will find in a new energy physical relationship that when you join like this, it will be blissful in a way that is difficult to describe. You won't try to achieve orgasm, and therefore this whole thing of orgasm will take on a whole new meaning and understanding, and it won't be about how long you can endure or how often you can practice it. It will totally change in nature, and it will truly be a point where two enlightened new energy beings sharing love together can create new energy together. Create new energy. It was done crudely before, and it was not even creating new energy, but when two humans made love, you created something. It was called children. In the new energy, you can create new energy. It doesn't have to manifest in your life as children, but yet imagine if it does. Imagine joining together, creating new energy. Imagine for a moment the swirls of light and color and energies, and from that, into the biological being of the woman is manifested the child. What a difference that will make.
There comes a point in the awakening process where you become very inward looking. You become very falling in love with yourself, which is a good thing. You become somewhat protective about your old energies because intuitively you understand that people around you in your life have been feeding off of you. They've been taking your energy, sometimes stealing it, but in your case, you've just been giving it away, feeling that you have to do this for other people. So right now you're in a transition time. You feel that you have to give that energy and love to yourself first, and this is very, very natural. So suddenly, old energy sex, really any sex with another person, is not nearly so desirable. Sometimes it is just plain undesirable. It's a wonderful time to, first of all, take the time and the experience to love yourself. In the Sexual Energy School, we talk about making love to yourself through what we call the process, or the experience rather, of Aliyah. We talk about the influence of the sexual energy virus and how it literally steals the joy out of sex. So it's a wonderful thing to, once again, fall in love with yourself. Now, when you can literally love yourself and make love to yourself, it's going to change the sexual experience that you have with other people. It'll no longer be just a physical necessity. It'll be a great act of making love, sharing at the deepest and most intimate level with another human. At this divine sexual point with another human, you literally create a very beautiful new energy. It's one of the easiest ways for new energy to flow into your body and your life and your relationship with this other person. They don't have to be shaumbra, but it is important for them to understand that during sex is not a time for stealing energy, not a time for just a quick physical relief. So your intuition is telling you exactly the right thing. You're at the right point where the old sex is not interesting anymore. That means you're ready to discover the new sexuality. So much of this is covered in my sexual energy school, and not to be promoting anything here, but I would encourage all of you to take this, because it will change the very fabric of your life and about your understanding of sexuality and its importance in your human life. If you have a partner, for instance, that is not in a compatible sexual consciousness with you, just breathe with them. Lay in bed together, just naked or partially clothed or whatever. Breathe with them for a little bit. If they find it intolerable, if they're like just wondering why you're going crazy again, wanting to lay there and breathe, if they are just in it for just physical sex, you need to really evaluate whether that's the right sexual partner for you. And maybe the sexual partner is just yourself, but don't let yourself, I was going to say just women, but men also, don't let yourself be a part of somebody's sexual feeding game at all. You don't have to. You don't owe it to them. You're actually enabling them by doing it. Breathe with them. And if they're not willing to do that for a little bit before you get into the sexual act, then they're probably the wrong partner. And it applies to you also. Breathe with you first. If you're not willing to do that, well, you can't really find another sexual partner, but then forget about sex. If you can't stop and just breathe and feel and allow, my friends, there's some other issues going on you're resisting. On the new earth, one becomes very intimate with themselves, and that's what the real experience is about. There's nature and there are other beings, but these are like wallpaper or backdrops. These are the decorations for one's new reality on the new earth, to really come to themselves, to come into their own energy and to be in the midst of the experience of their own sovereignty. Now, somebody just asked about sex. Well, what about sex? Well, on the new earth, sex is a very important attribute because it is here on this planet Earth. But you'll find people engaging in the act of making love to themselves and learning about that thoroughly before they ever make love to another being. It's not a law, it's not a rule, it's just the way of being on the new earth. To love yourself physically, as Tobias talked about so often in the sexual energy school with Aliyah. To love yourself emotionally, without guilt or shame. To love yourself for just your beingness, for your for your awareness to deeply fall in love with yourself. And it doesn't have to be just physical, but it can be. Once somebody comes to that point and comes to a point of loving themselves, then they can share that with another being without marriage. Oh, there's right now, there's no marriage on the new earths, and I highly doubt if there ever will be. And yes, you're right, there are no lawyers on new earth. There's no need for these things, and you've carefully worked with others to design the new earth with the very, very best attributes, which are simply physical sensuality, a sensuality that goes very deep into the being, that allows the being then to connect with their own energy. So you could say the templates for the new earth are about sensuality that puts one into a deep feeling, not mental, but feeling connection with their own energy.